Why do you keep the gear stick on the right? I would think you'd be more used to it being on the left. Okay, so there's a few reasons to have the gear stick here. One of them is purely a physical problem. Okay, you've got a sidearm mount here, and I get in and out of the rig on that side. Yeah, which basically means if I want that over here, it's going to stop me getting in and out. That's one reason. Second reason is, when I'm playing trucking and stuff, 90% of the time, I'm literally driving a left-hand drive setup, so the gear stick is on the right. Third thing is, I'm agnostic, like I can stick shift either side. So I put it here. Turn your rig around. Yeah, because that's easy to do. And secondly, when I put the rig in place, I thought through all of this. And because of my desk being over there, if I was to turn this rig 180, my screen would stop me. I'd have to climb between the desk and the screen to get into my rig. Nah. How's the pup? She is... I guess she's like a child in a way, isn't she? She's really adorable and really annoying, depending on what mood she's in. Like, health-wise, she's absolutely fine. Like, she's running around up and down the garden.
The guy behind
she's put on weight really well. She's so good. But in terms of, like, house training, oh my god. You think you've cracked it, and then she'll go and take a number 2 on the carpet upstairs, and you're like, really? She's not... No, she doesn't tend to bite cables and chew things. We give her plenty of things to chew. Plenty of stuff. It's not a teething problem. We're looking after that. It's the toilet training. Wait, you got 2 lab pups? Have you posted any pictures on Twitter? It's a seat on sliders. So what I did, Balkan, was I bought a slider for the seat and a slider for the pedals. So the exact same slider... And I can adjust the seating, and I can adjust the rudder pedals. The pedals down there. And because... I'll show you this, because I don't know if you're interested in flying at all, Vulcan, but I'll show you anyway. This was one of the problems I had to solve. Was how to mount rudder pedals onto a rig. And so, what I did was... I bought an extra mounting plate, because I realised that the mounting plate bolts on to the rig at those 4 corner holes there. So I knew I could effectively quick release the whole thing. Like, you just undo 4 bolts and I can remove the entire pedals. The problem was, these metal plates that are built by SimLabs are basically pre-drilled for racing pedals, but they're not pre-drilled for any rudder pedals currently. So I had to drill a couple of holes in the whole thing, but it turns out it's actually quite soft metal. It's basically an alloy, so it's not hard to get through. And so I put some holes in, and then, if you look, I put some standoff screws in. Well, standoff bolts, you see it? So that means the rudder pedal isn't mounted directly onto the plate, it's stood off from the plate. And that gives you the ability to rake the rudder pedal even more, which was the real problem. The rake of a rudder pedal is very different to the rake of a racing pedal. Normally, a rudder pedal would be even further down this by default, and then you would toe brake it down because they're built for more of a sitting position than a racing position. But the rake on these pedals adjusts really nicely, so I can rake it all the way up. As long as I stand it off, I've got space underneath here, even on its minimum setting. Yeah? And so the whole thing's moved independently and toe brake. However, I also set this up for the Thrustmaster TPR rudder pedals, which are a very different design to the Crosswind. And they work really well as well on here. So, yeah, if I want to go flying, it's about 10-minute setup. I pop the plates... Excuse me. I pop the racing pedal plate off, put this on, plug the USB cable in, and then if I'm doing military stuff, that's pretty much it, because I'm going to be using this stick here. This is already just swinging. If I'm going to be doing more GA flying, 3 bolts under here, take the wheelbase off, clamp the yoke onto here, and good to go. So you're like a 10-minute turnaround. But one of the things I have done is configure, so I put 2 stream decks on either side here. Mounting the stream decks onto here was tricky because these things are not built to mount. I'll have a look in a sec, Mr. Gibbons. Thank you. Where's my mouse gone? But if you look at my wheel deck, I have a trucking folder which I'm setting up, and I have an iRacing folder. And so I can basically use the buttons on here to, like, there's my brake bias. There's the in-game voice volume, next incident, previous lap, so that replay stuff. These are linked to macros, so you just press that and it sticks 10 gallons in the tank, that kind of thing. To get tow, you know, you get the idea. So I'm still building this up, but it means you can use the Stream Deck to control all the buttons for racing, and then if I want to go trucking, I just put that in. And, you know, engine start, blinkers, beacons, try to disconnect. There's a completely different set of buttons down here. And then the left Stream Deck at the moment, I'm literally not really built out very much, but that's being used for switching scene, muting the microphone, muting voice chat, that kind of thing. And then I have a desk deck, which is a small version, which is used to change scene and that kind of thing. So, yeah, it's working out pretty well. How do you control pitch when you put the yoke on? If you wanted to adjust the actual pitch, you'd have to loosen a bolt on your wheel deck and just tilt it. So yeah, I mean, these are not cheap. You could get away with one of these, no problem at all, but I just wanted to have the balanced look as well, and I wanted to control my streaming over here, my game over here. But these are not cheap, but they're very, very versatile. It seems the iRacing code is not working anymore. I'm pretty certain, Dre, somebody used it only a few weeks ago. It is only for new accounts, but if it's not working, I will have to get in touch with them again. Let me have a look at... I take it you posted on here, right? March the 4th. Where did you put it? Did you tweet it or did you send it somewhere else? You've never had an iRacing account? Okay. I'll have to message them, I guess.
The leader has just done a 201.00.
Okay. Well, it should still show up, surely. Oh, there we go. I don't know why that wasn't showing up. Hey, look at that. Oh, they're so cute. Oh my god. Hang on. Oh, they're lovely. Look at that. And that one. They are so nice. Oh my god. They are adorable.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Right, Jamie is doing a 20.7. I need to follow Jamie. There we go. He's going to show us how this is done. Those pictures are 1 week apart. They're amazing. They're so nice.
Temperature is increasing. It's now 30.
How old are they? How does he manage to claw third gear out of that so quickly? Takes a lot of curb. Wow, he stays in third all the way through. That's interesting. He stays in third all the way through though.
The leader has just done a 2:00.8 seconds.
I have this horrible tendency of turning in too soon on that bend. That was lovely. Alright, get it. You get that bend wrong and you're so dead. Wow, how much curb? See, iRacing being what it is, I'm always concerned about trying to take curb in this game because it just randomly gives you incident points. Oh, first gear, that's interesting. Second, that's what I was doing. Some curbs are deadly, yeah, they really are. Like, if you're in the radical, any curb is deadly. I think he's shaving more speed than I am though. He's definitely biting more curb on that one. It's this one I really can't master yet. There's a few elements to this bend. There's like the angle of attack that you go in on.
0.3.
That triple change down. And like, I don't know if he's braking around there at all, or just letting it coast. Like, has he got a little bit of brake going around there? Interesting how he only hits 5th on the straight. He's definitely power sliding it round though. You think he's letting it coast? There's no way of telling though.
I just tried doing what Jamie is doing and I ended up facing the wrong way.
Is that an English bulldog? That looks like an English bulldog. They always look grumpy, don't they? They have this facial expression that just makes them look grumpy no matter what. Right, Jamie's just shown us how to do it.
There's traffic approaching. Watch your mirrors.
There's an ice cream van behind me.
There's one in front of me. side if you want. Alright. Why do you go to the right?
Hang on, he was in first round though, not second. I need to change that habit.
May have I broke myself?
See, the thing is, like, you might know what the new time model feels like, but because it's like a year since I raced, I can't remember what the old one felt like compared to this. The old one in Merc was basically unlimited grip. Wow. Okay. I'm guessing he brakes a bit more through that. Jamie, thank you for that. Thank you for jumping in and showing us that. That's really useful. I've no hope of replicating it, but having an idea what I'm supposed to be doing. And I think I just took a piece of the wall with me. I didn't see you do that though.
I just noticed that Jamie's iRating is 8.2k and his
Yeah, he's a pro.
B9
Pro. I didn't even know.
Exactly, he's a pro. Hang on, I need a new car. I took a piece out of the wall. Dude, I've got a million questions.
The pit exit is clear. Push now.
I think a lot of it is just things like that, being able to,
Car left. Clear left.
like watching somebody who knows how to do it, just watching the lines you take and the gear you're in, even things like that can just help massively. Because I'm very new to this track. But yeah, you know the very last bend, the long 180, are you doing any braking around there? Or you just let it coast? You've noticed you can't as far as you used to. Interesting. Well, we're trying to get to the point where we can do the endurance next weekend and
Flag. Watch out.
not meatball the car. That's our objective here. Quite like trail braking all the way to the bridge. Interesting. So I noticed you took a big chunk out of here, and then you also took a big chunk out of this bit, and you stayed in third. You did something more like that, I think. I think I just put too much braking in there. Well, at least I didn't take the wall with me this time. So like just having a mental reference helps a lot. Like I know that you never went over 5th here.
I'm in a wall.
You turned it in a lot sharper than I did. Oh boy, you're coming back, aren't you? You cut this bend off a lot.
Let's follow you around for a bit.
Oh boy. I think I tried to brake where I thought Jamie braked. I thought he braked at the second set of cones, but I can't remember now. That didn't work out though.
I braked at the first one.
Yeah, that's where I usually brake, but I thought I remembered him braking at the second set. Maybe I got that wrong. You brake on the first set, Cole?
He's better than us.
Used a dip in the tarmac just before it. I haven't even spotted a dip in the tarmac.
There's a dip in the tarmac?
Exactly. He's like, yeah, you know where the paint's just slightly brushed off? That's right, you know. What? You what, mate?
Jamie, do you do the driver coaching?
Yeah, Jamie, do you do coaching, mate?
In it, mate.
That's a bit better. Wasn't ideal. Run by it again. We'll be there in a sec if I don't bin the wall. Yeah, you're probably like super massively busy.
There's definitely a bump there.
So that was a bit more controlled. I'm quite happy about that. Honestly thought I was taking the wall in. Yeah, I know. You wish you could clone yourself.
Never noticed.
Oh, I see the dip.
Sector 1
Yeah,
is 0.9
I saw the
off
dip this
base.
time, right on the cone.
Yep. Yellow flag, keep your wits about you, mate.
Power slide for the win. You actually feel the dip. I feel like that bend's got the better of me at the moment. That right and left. I don't know. I seem to be going too fast in the first one, and then I can't get back over on the track to straighten the next one out. And it all seems. I think there's a ridge on the track like that. There's like a camber that goes over it. So if you get it wrong, it's very hard to get the weight back. Mr. Lawman, thank you for 49 months, sir. Kames with 22, Bravo Whiskey with 20, with 17, thank you. So I didn't take enough speed off that. I'd love to know how you take all that chunk out of that corner though. Lawman, I'm not bad, thank you. Oh, that's too much.
Sector 1 is 2.5 off the pace.
Take a bit too much out of that bend.
Yeah.
So bouncy.
You saw nothing, Sean.
I felt like... Not quite. I just can't get that. It's that sweeping set of left, right, left. That's horrid. Is the coronavirus banned from being mentioned? Not really. Nope. Good afternoon, Kisoy. So you basically go over that. Like, see, how do you even do that? How do you even do that? I go over it and it's like, there's the wall. Alright, simple sim. Maybe I took a bit too much.
Pit exit's clear.
Honestly, I can't find my racing gloves. It's really annoying me. I don't know where they are. I think maybe you took that much. Thank you, Simple Sim. Yeah, I think you got to get that just right, though. It's a bit of a risky one, that one. That seemed a bit more correct. About half a car, I think. Bit more work to do on that one. Oh, not enough brake. I'm still trying to work out exactly how much brake on the, like the initial braking on the entry into that bend, like how much speed to take off.
E9.
Same with this one. If you get it wrong, you're gonna go wide. When you go over that, do you back off the power when you go over it? I'm wondering if having the throttle down going over it is what's causing the problem. I'm wondering if you coast when you go over it. That's too much. You back off the power a ton. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like I'm getting a bit more comfortable through there now. I'm not fast yet, but I'm comfortable. Like, I've got the car under control. That's a little better.
P8.
Done it again. Either I'm braking too late or I'm not turning sharp enough. I'm not sure. I can see how taking a bite out of that curb though really straightens up the next bend. So if you can get away with it. It's really helped though, Jamie, thank you. Ooh, that's a bit too much. Yeah, you have a good one, sir. Thank you. I'm braking too early into that as well. I need to brake later and then a little bit harder.
P9.
That's better. That is so risky. What's your estimated total cost of your setup?
Sector 1 is 0.5 off the pace.
Slightly higher wing values. I'm going to download Craig's setup later. Try that. I mean, what the adjustments we made really helped. But I'm messing about with stuff I don't really get.
Yellow flag, caution.
Whoopsie. Grass needed cutting anyway. I had to adjust the throttle. If you look, when I'm putting my throttle down, it's not giving maximum. Thanks for mowing the lawn, you're welcome. So that's another step, another bit there. If I say that's the maximum. The heck? Nice. Well done, game. Sure you're not sponsored by John Deere. Why is it reverse this? Why is it inverted my throttle and brake?
I don't know.
Like what? I have no idea why it's suddenly reversing it.
Actually, I believe sometimes it's necessary. I know in Assetto Corsa I have to inverse my pedals because otherwise, if I don't press them, they're full open. If you get what it's weird how it works, but yeah.
Right, so I think what you have to do... That's so bizarre. Yeah, you basically have to... Like, if you leave the throttle or brake pressed when you hit done, you're screwed. It just reverses it.
Right, okay.
Like, I want
Just your
that to be max
typical
throttle.
iRacing shenanigans.
Yep.
The track temperature's rising. It's now 32 Celsius.
200.2. That's amazing. Someone is about to get into gaming. What is the best wheel setup? If you... Wait. What kind of gaming are you trying to use for a wheel for, Goose? Racing and trucking. What's your budget? £200 to £300. Well, for trucking, you want a decent shifter. Actually,
show, but it's so hard to do it consistently.
I know what you mean. It depends. Are you got a manual shift or auto shift in trucking and racing? Yeah, we just have a chat reel for it. We don't have people don't use caps. People don't use emote type stuff. That's all. Other than that, you're fine. And family friendly. Auto to start. Now, you see, if you're going to go auto, right, you can ignore the shifter. That's the way I asked. If you've got a budget of 200 to 300, you're either looking at like a G29 920 from Logitech, or you're looking at a Thrustmaster wheel. Both are going to be in that price bracket. The G29 920 comes with a super basic shifter that really... I mean, I made a video about all this. You might want to watch it. Because I go over the problems like that I'm mentioning now. Essentially, that shifter is tied to the wheel, so you can't get anything better. That's the problem. Something like one of these, a Thrustmaster shifter, like a TH8A, something like that, is a good investment purely because it can it's independent of the wheel. So you can just USB plug that in and change your wheel later, and you can still carry on using that. And when you want to, if you want to go manual, you've got an Almar SKRS that you can put on top. And if you want to race, the plate turns 90 degrees and you can shift up and down with it. But that thing's like 120 quid on its own, so that's going to take a chunk out your budget. So what you could do is get something like a G920 and one of those. That would just about be within your budget. And then that way, you can later on add the Almar when you want to manually shift in trucking. You've got a decent shifter for racing, and you can upgrade your wheel because that's independent of it. You highly don't recommend the G29 920. I've never had a problem with it, Newty, but okay. The alternative is one of the Thrustmaster wheels. They have pretty good force feedback inside. I'd say the force feedback in the Thrustmaster wheel is better than the one in the G920. But the wheel doesn't feel as nice. Like the G29 has a nicer feeling wheel, the Thrustmaster has better force feedback. Nah, I'll proxy.
It exit looks clear.
G920 shifter is just rubbish. It's like, it's the most basic thing you can buy.
Nah, I think I just went into the corner a bit too hard.
Oh geez, not paying attention. Literally reading chat. You've had 3. Jeez, what are you doing with it, Newty? I had 1 and there was nothing wrong with it. You've chewed 3 of them.
Mid exit's clear. Push.
I can't remember if he changed gear when he went over that or not. That's really weird, Newty. It's almost like something that you do with them is causing the fault. Oh, that was interesting.
Yellow flag, keep your wits about you, mate.
It's to straighten that off. Any VR racing games? What do you mean? You can play iRacing in VR. You know what's weird? I haven't had that graphical thing happen to me during the entire practice session, only during the race.
10th position.
The only thing it's drawing in is more cars, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't do it on Siege yesterday either, did it?
No. I have this habit of turning in too early. It's really annoying. No, most races in week 13 are unranked. There are some races that are ranked though, so when you join them you need to check. But if the title of the series starts week 13 something, chances are it's not a ranked race. BMW, Porsche, and Mazda are official. Fair enough. That's terrible. Ranked events are poor in week 13. Why? What happened? I did a wheel review of the I did a wheel review of the kind of consumer level stuff, not like, you know, force feedback stuff, like proper force, like Fanatec stuff. I did a wheel review of the Logitech G27, the G29, and the Thrustmaster TX Leather, I think. I was trying to show that. See, I can't focus on driving and chat like I'm not at work. Yeah, I did a video on it, but it doesn't cover higher end stuff.
Car left, clear left.
Avoid all of them. Again, it depends, like, you can't just say that. Avoid all of them. If you're in the consumer price bracket of like £200 to £300, if that's your budget, what are you going to do? What are your options if you want to avoid all of them? Not everybody has like a £700,000 to £800,000 budget for this stuff. That's the problem. It's like people who can afford to buy, you know, the Porsches and stuff saying, well, stay away from Ford Fiestas, they're rubbish. Well, yeah, okay, but then everybody's got a budget. Oh, that's bad. That's a track. No? Really?
Sector 1 is 1.3 off the pace.
You bought your son an M2 competition. Nice. Oh, you took the BMW racing school thing? Sweet. I've seen that on YouTube, actually. Too early again. Way too early. Explain destroyed your budget. Well, P3D is better at doing that. The beard adds significantly to the matured look. Lol.
You only think P3D is better, right?
Makes me like a trucker, right? Uh-oh. Overcooked it. I don't know where the ice cream van... Oh, the ice cream van's behind me.
That's your quickest so far.
You're getting that ice cream whether you want it or not, though.
Wait, I can't hear you over the AMG. What? What?
You're getting the ice cream whether you want or not.
Ice cream van's got to catch me.
Well, I mean, if you crash, that's easy done.
Yeah, if I put it in the wall, it's easy.
The one's right there.
Buy used is a good option on a tight budget. Needs more for important pedals. There's good and bad in buying used. It's like buying used in anything, really, isn't it? You can get a really good... I mean, I just bought 2 cameras second-hand. They arrived yesterday. I bought 2 Sony Alpha 6000 cameras for £269 for the base each. Which, you know, that then allows me to buy 2 lenses, £65 each, and that's it. So for $650, I've got 2 fully equipped Sony A6000 cameras. Just one A6300 on its own is like £1,000. So I've saved a load of money. But equally, if you buy a wheel, it's much harder to know if there's any problems inside. You know, you don't know what's going on inside. With a camera, it'll switch on, you know, it'll pretty much work or it won't. Like with a wheel, it might go after a week. And you don't have a guarantee. So that's the downside. It's a risk. You need to get that camera. Well, I've got a 6300 over there. And this is a GoPro, but this next week, this will be a 6000. But I thought, I'm not buying the cameras brand new, because A6000's been out a few years and they don't do 4K, whereas the 6300 does, and a lot of people upgrade to them to get rid of the 6000, which means I get the camera for less than half price. Did you already bring your BMW to the track? I'm not taking my BMW to the track, bro. Nah. No. I'll take other people's vehicles on the track, not my own. Guarantees aren't worth the paper they're printed on. Okay, so let's say you get a G920 brand new from Amazon, and after 2 weeks it breaks. What happens? You contact Amazon and they immediately replace it. Now let's say you did the same thing on eBay. After 2 weeks, what happens? Buyer goes, alright when I sold it. Take your Audis on the track, friends. What Audi have you got? Can you mix companies like Logitech wheel, Thrustmaster pedals or something? It depends. For example, Thrustmaster pedals, if they just plug into USB, yes. If they plug into the wheelbase, no. Like, say with the Fanatec stuff, if you want to plug those pedals into this wheel, there's a cable for it. If you want to plug those pedals into a PC and not have a Fanatec wheelbase, you can do it, but you have to buy the USB adapter. eBay is sold as seen. Yes, it is. But you said that guarantees aren't worth the paper they're printed on. I'm saying to you, if I buy something from eBay, from Amazon, it comes with a guarantee, and I can get it sorted. %, of bin cars. Where are you getting that stat from, Baz?
Track's clear. Push, push, push.
I see plenty of Audis and YouTube videos going into walls, Baz. I don't think it's the car's fault. I think it's the driver's fault. Okay, Dave, what have you say? For the sake of curiosity, a Sony Alpha 6400 is $1,400. Yeah, because they're the newer models. That's what I'm saying, the 6000 is still a perfectly good camera, but it doesn't have some of the features that the 63, 64s have. But if you don't care about those features, for example, if you're using it like I'm using it, it doesn't matter. 6000 is perfectly good. And I can get really good ones second hand. Okay, Baz. I think you'll find that Audi drivers are worse than BMW drivers now in terms of aggression and stuff. A lot of the people that used to do that moved on from BMW and went to Audi because Audi was cool and hip. Unfortunately, the image has stayed, even if it's not true anymore. You have a look in your mirror next time. The guy who's right at the back of you will be an Audi, not a BMW. Well, I can only say what it's like in the UK, Baz. In the way that you can only say what it's like in Germany. It never changed in Germany, that's interesting.
Sector 1 is 0.9 off the pace.
Audis are too common. I found the Audi range really weird. Like, the new S series is diesel. I mean, really? Diesel? This is a company that's just turned around and said that all their new stuff is going to be electric focused, and they've chucked out an S range diesel. It's just bizarre. Like, most countries are going around banning diesel, so Audi goes, hey, let's have a brand new S line and put a diesel engine in. No, that's too late. I was trying something different through there, it didn't work out. I drive up and down the country every day and find it's all the big German cars, the worst drivers. It's not necessarily the manufacturer, it's all to do with the power. It's the high power cars. They're the ones that are aggressive. Oh, cut it. Too much. Well, Mercedes drivers are very different. It's bizarre. New diesel AdBlue from Volvo's very clean. Well, I don't... This is the thing. I'm not disputing that modern diesel engines are really good. And they've got really good emission control. What I'm saying is, most countries are going banning diesel engines in their cities and stuff. And it's only going to get worse. Like, they're going to put taxes on them. They're going to ban them. And the value of those vehicles is going to plummet. That's just something that's happening. So, as a manufacturer, bringing out a brand new range of cars with diesel engines, you've really got to think hard about that. The demand for diesel cars has dropped like by 2/3. You're driving your son's BMW and it's easy to be aggressive when you've got an open road.
And that's a lel.
Pups, how do you think like you're getting on these days on the track?
The track temp's increasing. It's
A
now
lot better than
34
it was when I
Celsius.
first started.
I mean, are you able to put laps in safely?
Yeah,
Because that's really what next week's going to be about, right?
indeed.
Staying out of trouble and not binning it, that's the main criteria.
Your timing is impeccable, Paul.
Why?
You'll find out when your replay catches up.
What, you just put it in the wall?
Maybe. Literally the moment you said it's about not binning the car.
Diesel won't be banned for a long time. Wait, what? Diesel won't be banned for a long time. Diesel's going to be banned permanently. UK banning diesel sooner. Yeah, well, they're banning combustion engine cars from 2035, I think. As in the sale of new ones. SQ5 and RS3. The RS has had the brakes and suspension done. Next one, turbo dune. Nice. Diesels still are better than electric. Finding minerals for batteries, electric's not the answer. It's a complex question, D22. It really is. I mean, at the moment, the people who make the decisions at a country level seem to be very focused on emissions, right? They're all focused on the air that we're breathing. That's literally it. They're trying to remove this, you know, the nitrous oxides and things out of the atmosphere, which I understand. At the same time, as you say, just saying electric is the answer is not true. Like, the batteries themselves, there are still big questions over battery life. If you buy a brand new electric car, they often give you a warranty on the batteries of like 7 years, say. Well, we all know from having mobile phones that battery life does that over time. So once you're in that electric car and it starts out with a range of 300 miles, what's it going to be like in 5 years? And after 7 or 8 years, when people down the line have bought them as second-hand cars and stuff, like, to replace a set of batteries on that is going to cost thousands. So electric is not just the answer. I kind of hope they do something with hydrogen, but the problem with hydrogen is...
With electric cars, we need to produce more power to charge things.
Well, there is that. Like, hydrogen's got its own problems. It's very clean to burn, but it's very expensive to produce. And then you've got the charging points, which at the moment, you know, if you buy an electric car right now... I mean, I was looking the other day, actually. If you put Tesla Supercharger into a map, in Chelmsford there aren't any. There's not one. The nearest one is Bishop Stortford, and in terms of coverage in Essex, it's appalling. Well, I don't think the batteries are going to improve bulk, and it's gonna take some kind of technology leap for battery capacity to improve massively. There's also the issue, I think, in North America where the car charging stations are getting their power. If they get the power from coal, well, I mean, it is quite amusing, isn't it? You're driving around in your electric vehicle, you go to a charging point, you plug it in. Where did that electricity come from? Can you guarantee that we didn't burn a fossil fuel to give you that electric? Well, that's one of the reasons why, you know, the UK is investing heavily in wind farms and stuff. In France, you can almost guarantee that your power came from nuclear. Sebring 12 hours next Saturday. Hang on. Alex, what is the Sebring race? How long is it next week?
5 hours.
5?
12.
12?
Johnny asked me, why are you answering?
12 hours, yeah?
Yes.
And when does it start?
I think 1 or 2 p.m. your time.
On... is that Sunday or Saturday?
Saturday.
So it's about 1 p.m. on Saturday, and it'll finish about 1 a.m. or maybe even later.
Definitely later. Because the server opens at that time, but then there's a warm-up session and then qualifying and then the race starts.
Yeah, so it's going to be a very long stream next Saturday. Well, I say that.
So you have no Stoneworks next week?
Well, no. Hang on a minute. I need to make sure that I have a backup plan in case we meatball it after 2 hours or something.
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
Yeah,
let's face it, we may not even finish the whole 12 hours, right?
Yeah. Lol.
Nuclear power is okay, but what do you do with an outdated nuclear power plant?
He's not even here and he's getting smack talked.
Are they banning from burning coal? I'm not exactly sure about that. Anyway, it's 4 o'clock. Which means I'll be back in an hour. You're still 1.8 seconds away from Jamie, just saying.
I know.
He probably had a better setup, though.
You know I have no issues with admitting someone is faster than me, right? I'm just not used to it with you three.
Lol.
Fighting.
Lol.
He says that and he's the one that bins it on Saturday.
We'll call it that
Oh,
for
I
now.
know that will happen.
Right.
Even though I drove a perfect
That's the end of the first
stint
part of
before
today's
you.
stream. I'll be back at 5 o'clock, so I'm taking a 1 hour break, getting some food. And I'll be back in an hour playing some Stormworks. So I'm going to move from the rig to the desk. And be back in an hour with some Stormworks after I've had some grub. The RS is a 14 plate. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, Alton Park, friends. I used to go to that track. Watch motorbike racing at Alton Park. Anyway, if you were in the session, thanks for joining. Hope you had a bit of fun. And I'll see you all in an hour. In the meantime, go and get some grub or whatever. And if you're heading out for the evening, have a great Saturday evening. I'll be back in 1 hour.